Hey, so I wanted to talk about authentic parenting and the alternative, sometimes the exception. Because anyone who knows me and has heard me talk about parenting or has followed me at all knows that I'm really into authentic parenting, like being really honest with what I'm feeling, being really honest about a situation, communicating what's going on, being with what is, like full on acceptance of all the feelings, of all the experiences, theirs, and like holding space for theirs and also with mine. I cry in front of my kids, I scream in front of my kids, I try not to scream at them. But I really show them that like we're human beings and we have the full range of experience, and it's okay. It's okay to feel everything. And there are healthy ways to express it, and that it's a good thing. And then I was talking to some friends the other day, and what came up was an experience where I chose consciously to not share what I was feeling with my kids, and so I wanted to share about that experience because it struck me as different to what I usually do, and it had great purpose to it, like very strong intention. And this was when my ex-husband got a new girlfriend, and I had very strong feelings inside of me about it. Like it brought up a lot of layers of grief that I hadn't experienced when we broke up, and just like so many waves of feelings about it. And this was specifically when my children met her and spent the weekend with her for the first time. And so I knew that when I was going to see them, I was going to feel a lot, and probably they would talk about it and I would feel a lot. And so I really decided, like at the forefront of my mind was, what message do I want to give them about this whole experience? How do I want them to see me in this? How do I want them to kind of be able to, like, what connotations do I want them to feel when they're talking about her and him and me? Like we're all in this situation together. How do I want them to experience that? And I really wanted, and I want, that I can be this neutral space that they can share with, that they can enjoy with her, and that they can share that with me, that I'm not going to put a damper on that I'm not like the sad one while they're having all this joy together, that I can, that they feel that there's an openness, that they can enjoy her and enjoy me, and there's no sense of competition or replacement or fear of that even, that doesn't even need to come into their awareness. I don't want there to be any comparison. I don't want there to be a feeling in them that they're betraying me if they like her, or that they need to choose between us. I really didn't want them to feel that has really any impact on me, that to feel for them there's no connection there. Their relationship with this new person in their dad's life has nothing to do with me, and I really wanted them to feel that it has nothing to do with me. And so when I saw them after the weekend and they started to share with me, and I could feel that they were very open-hearted. They had this great weekend together. Of course, there's lots of love there. It's a new relationship. And so there were so many pangs of jealousy and of hurt and of feeling left out and of pain, everything. And every time that it came up, I just said, I'm going to deal with this later. This is mine, and I'm going to deal with this later. And I would see each wave as it would come up, and I'd say, I'm going to deal with you later. And then, sometimes the thoughts would come in that were very pervasive, that would create more feeling. And I would let myself feel some of it, because my children are used to me crying around them, so it's okay if I just cry. But I didn't want it to be associated, and so I didn't talk to them about it. And I really, when they talked about her and him and everything, I allowed a space for them to talk about it as much as possible. I didn't like fake it. I didn't kind of say anything over the top. Like I didn't put on anything, but I chose not to bring my feeling into it. And then when I had the time by myself, I did process it myself, and I had a big process with myself around that. So much that then I stopped feeling those pangs when they would talk about her, because I really did process them myself. And then when it came time for me to spend time with her, like when I was taking them to his house and she was there, I really listened to my own boundaries around it. And if it didn't feel comfortable for me to do, I wouldn't. And when I did, then it was when I felt okay with it, and would listen to like the, when it started to feel like too much energy for me, I would leave. And I didn't feel like I need to explain that to them either. Like I could be in my own process with this, and I didn't need to put it on them at all. I didn't need to involve them in it. And it has meant that now we have a very healthy relationship between us. They have an amazing relationship with her, and I really honor the relationship that they all have together, and they share with me about what they've done together and stuff. And we even went to a festival recently where it was my weekend with the kids, so we went together, but the two of them were there as well, and the kids could go between us. And in general, I process my feelings about it before things happen, so that I'm prepared and so that I can really contain my feelings. And I guess the reason I'm sharing this is because I feel like there are other times when it's really healthy and appropriate to share ourselves with our children, to show that we're human, to be in this feeling experience together. And then there are times when our feelings are our own, and that we can put boundaries around them, and that we can deal with them with ourselves. And this is true in all of our relationships, I think. And this is a big one in relationships, in romantic relationships, where at least for me, I wanted to be in a relationship where I can, express all the parts of myself and be really open. And sometimes that's inappropriate. Like sometimes it's more important to know that I can hold myself and that I can feel what I need to feel, and I don't actually need to share that with someone else. And yeah, this learning of holding ourselves and having our boundaries, I think that this is the masculine aspect. The feminine is really the feeling and the movement of energy, and the masculine is to be able to be in presence with what's happening, to observe it, to hold it, to give it a place. And when we can do that for ourselves, then we don't need someone else to do it with us. And having someone holding that space for us is really powerful and takes it to a new level. We can reveal things and we can understand things that we couldn't by ourselves. But for me, a huge part of my journey has been learning how to hold the space for myself and knowing that I can. And then it becomes a choice of whether I choose to share or choose to be with myself in it. And with our children, I think this is especially important, to really see when do I want to be there just for them and give them the place. And this makes us the adult, right? Yeah.